people on the far right have been telling us that if you allow people to use the bathroom that they identify with, then what that's going to do is it's going to mean that men are going to dress up like women and assault women in women's bathrooms. Which ironically means that the person that they have a problem with is not the trans person, but the person utilizing the trans person's situation to act on horrible thoughts. And it doesn't happen, right? If a guy wants to dress as a fucking woman and go into a woman's bathroom, he can do so whether you allow trans people to use the bathroom they identify with or not, right? And no, with trans people using bathrooms that they identify with, there has not been an increase of other men dressing as women and going into women's bathrooms and assaulting them. But that is what they would have you believe. Now, here we are, ironically, the same group of people support unmarked, unidentified, and masked men showing up in cities and kidnapping people off the streets. We don't know that they're federal agents. They say they're federal agents, but we don't know. And this situation that these people cheer on has led to men utilizing the situation and covering their faces and dressing as if they were officers in order to kidnap women and assault them. The same thing they said trans people were going to do or men were going to do to women in bathrooms if trans people could use the bathroom they identified with. Now we're seeing that happen in major cities because men are utilizing the situation that we have all now come to accept for some reason, that unmarked, unidentified, masked men can just show up in vans in cities and grab people off the streets. Watch this.
Everybody be careful out there. There's now masked men who are pretending to be ICE agents or law enforcement, and they're grabbing women, and unfortunately there's already been 2 rapes, one in North Carolina and one in Maryland. There was an attempted rape in New York, and that guy then assaulted and robbed a woman when the attempt failed. And they're all saying the same thing, either law enforcement or ICE. They're mainly targeting Latino women. One of them had a fake badge, the others didn't have a badge. But the problem is ICE goes around in mass with no badges. So when a masked man comes in with a badge, no badge or a fake badge, there's no way for women to know whether they're law enforcement or not. So if you don't cooperate with law enforcement, they're going to add a lot of charges to your accounts. But if you do cooperate, turns out it's not law enforcement, it's a total disaster. That's why law enforcement and ICE should never, ever be in mass. Should always represent a badge. That's how we do it in America.
Women, get armed. That's all I can say. Get armed. And if somebody approaches you and they don't have any identification on them, you do not let them put their fucking hands on you until they identify themselves. And if that means you got to drop one of these motherfuckers, then you got to do what Republicans have been telling you to do for years and stand your ground.